Hello everybody, it's Sienna, and today I'm going to show you how to mix a variety of skin tones with acrylic paint. I also want to emphasize that these are not realistic skin tones. The skin tones I'm going to be mixing are not meant to be realistic. They are better suited for pop art or highly stylized art. These combinations are also great for beginners who are just learning color theory and how to mix paint. The colors I'm going to be using today are Burnt Sienna, Naples Yellow, Burnt Umber, Titan Buff, and Titanium White. So let's talk about how these colors are going to be used. Burnt Sienna and Naples Yellow are going to be my base colors. Each skin tone is going to include at least one of these colors. These colors are going to establish the undertone of the skin. The undertone is one of the most important parts of mixing skin color. The undertone is what makes the skin either warm, cool, or neutral. Different colors will give different undertones, so it's important to be able to identify what color your undertone is. Burnt Sienna is a reddish brown color that will give the skin a warm red undertone, and Naples Yellow is a grayish muted yellow that will give the skin a yellow neutral undertone. Burnt Sienna and Naples Yellow mixed together will create a reddish orange warm undertone. Alright, let's move on to our other colors. Burnt Umber is a neutral dark brown that I will be adding to darken my paint mixtures. It mixes well with both Naples Yellow and Burnt Sienna. Titan Buff is an unbleached white paint. It's a cream ivory color versus a pure white. This will act as one of my lighteners. And last but not least, Titanium White. I will also be using this as a lightener. So those are the main 5 colors that I'm going to be using, so let's get started with the mixing. The first combination I'm going to mix is Burnt Sienna, Titan Buff, and Titanium White. I'm starting out with Titan Buff and adding small amounts of Burnt Sienna. Burnt Sienna is a pretty powerful color, so I'm starting out with a small amount. If you add too much, it will be much harder to create a light skin tone. After thoroughly mixing Burnt Sienna and Titan Buff, I'm going to add in a bit of white to lighten it further. With this combination, it creates a mid-tone light skin with a red undertone. Next, I'm going to mix Naples Yellow, Titan Buff, and Titanium White. This combination creates a mid-tone light skin with a yellow neutral undertone. Naples Yellow is not as powerful as Burnt Sienna, so you don't have to start off with a tiny amount. I always mix in Titan Buff with my base color before adding white. I find that a pure white color like Titanium White can end up oversaturating the base color and making it too light, versus Titan Buff, which will lighten it slightly but not overpower it. It will lighten it just enough to tone down the original color, and then you can add in more white to lighten it further. Now I'm going to mix up some darker skin tones. So for this skin tone, my goal is to create a tan skin tone with a neutral yellow undertone. So first I'm going to combine Naples Yellow and Burnt Umber. Burnt Umber is also a powerful color, so starting out with a small amount is crucial. Since I want to create a tan skin tone, I have to be careful about the amount of Burnt Umber I mix in. Once I have my Naples Yellow and Burnt Umber thoroughly mixed, I'm going to add in some Titan Buff. This will lighten the color slightly to bring it to the tan color that I want. For my next combination, I'm going to combine Burnt Umber and Burnt Sienna. This time, I'm not too worried if I grab too much Burnt Sienna. By using more Burnt Sienna, I can create a very rich, warm red undertone. Every skin color, no matter how dark, will always have some kind of an undertone, so it's important to make sure that you showcase that undertone so it will create a richer skin tone. The last skin color I'm going to mix has both Burnt Sienna and Naples Yellow as its base. I'm then going to add in a bit of Burnt Umber to darken the color. This will create a very rich, warm orange undertone dark skin. Red and yellow are very common undertones, but they're not the only undertones in existence. Often skin will have a combination of the two, creating a variety of undertones. With all the colors I have mixed, they are very bright and saturated and are either neutral or warm. But not everyone has a warm or neutral skin tone. Cool skin tones are very common across all shades. But how do we create a cool skin tone? Adding the complementary color to your undertones will desaturate or gray out your undertone and create a cooler skin tone. So what are their complementary colors? For red, that would be green, for yellow, that color is purple, and for orange, that color is blue. My favorite colors for graying out skin tones are Viridian green, Ultramarine violet, and Cerulean blue. Each of these colors have a very nice blue tone that helps to create a nice, cool undertone. Whenever you mix in your complementary color, make sure you only add in a little bit at a time. Keep adding in tiny amounts until you get to the color that you want. Here's a side-by-side comparison so you can see the difference. What I've shown you today is just a very small sampling of what you can create with these colors. With this palette, you can create a wide variety of skin tones. You can darken and lighten these colors as much as you want, and you can even create shadow and highlight colors with this palette. The most important part of mixing skin tones is to make sure you know what you want your undertone to be, whether warm, cool, or neutral. It's very important to keep this in mind when you're mixing your colors. Once the undertone is established, you can fit the rest of the colors of your painting to match. I really hope that you found this video useful, and I plan on doing a lot more tutorials in the future, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!